Not that long ago, 9 months ago, I made a video on why men no longer approach women, which can essentially be boiled down to
Yeah, but it's no fun.
What do you mean? Why? And
Don't you
it's
wanna-
no fun.
Don't you like the risk of it? Like,
Now let's see how much of those reasonings I've laid out in that video have caught on in the mainstream. Now from Chew the Fat with Smooth Podcast, why men no longer approach women. So let's see if it's going to repeat the typical talking points or come up with new interesting reasons for why men stop approaching women. So let's get on with the video.
Welcome to Chew the Fat. I am Smooth, and today we are going to talk about why men no longer pursue women. And we have a couple of great videos that we're going to go over, and we'll jump right into it. Let's go.
Stop telling me to go meet someone in the wild when I go in the wild and someone will be staring at me the whole entire night and won't come say hi. How many more times is that going to happen? How many more times am I going to be in the bar, playing pool, at the coffee shop, on a walk, and I will be staring down another person who is staring me down, smiling across the table, whatever, and you don't come say hi? Oh my gosh. What am I meant to do, you guys? Am I gonna have, like, we always have to make the first move or something? Because, like, oh my gosh.
Right. So here's what we have to understand about this. Women have made it extremely uncomfortable, right? Between what feminism has done, between what women have been posting on this for years and years before about how men are creepy and stop approaching me. Or there was even a time period where women were nuking men on purpose and recording it and posting it. So they were having fun, completely embarrassing men, posting it for everyone to see. That's extremely embarrassing. Men don't want to become the butt of anyone's joke. So we have to understand that it didn't just come out of nowhere. This is a problem that women created. Men.
And let's just say those things are only fun for one side. It's fun for the women. It's not fun for the men. Now eventually, if things continue on going on like this, the side that's not having fun will just walk out of the game. Because to them, it's just a giant waste of time. I mean, would you spend time doing things that is not fun for you and there's no real benefit in continuing on with that not fun activity? It sounds like a giant waste of time and energy, alright? And not only that, feminism is about equality between men and women. So why can women approach men instead? Why is it on the men to make the first move all the time? If it's on the men to make the first move, what are these women offering to the men? I mean, they have to make it worthwhile for the men to, make the approach, right? It's just like the gym, right? Gyms expect all their patrons to walk through the door. But if the patrons don't find what they offer worthwhile, the gym will be empty and it will eventually go out of business. So it seems like, modern day women are not offering anything worthwhile to men, or worse, something completely unnecessary and undesirable to a man's life. Hence, why men stop approaching. That might be a very good reason for why men stop approaching.
Do like to press. Men, well, they did. Maybe not now because it's uncomfortable. So guess what? They don't feel like it. And then we also have to talk about the juice not being worth the squeeze. We can't act like modern day women haven't become objectively worse, right? And sure, for me to say objectively worse is pretty strong. But when you think about it, if you think about what men appreciate about men, every single piece has disappeared pretty much. Every single bit of it has depleted, right? Everything that we like about women. If we're talking about femininity has went down. Feminism went up, femininity went down, right? Women are no longer feminine. That's what men are attracted to. They're not soft. They're not pleasant in general. There are some wonderful women out there, but for the most part, your everyday young lady that you run into is not going to be welcoming. She's not going to be cool. And the expectations have went up so high that it's almost pointless to try to meet them. Men have figured out that the juice is no longer worth the squeeze. And this is the result that you're going to get.
Stare a hole through you all night. They will not approach you, not once, but they'll stare you down.
I'm gonna give an example from me. I will not. I can't. I won't choose. Right. I can.
Sheesh. Okay, so this is kind of interesting because we're getting a male perspective here, and just by him even talking to women who he's apparently comfortable with, right? Because they seem like they're having a casual conversation. From what the dynamic looks like, they're probably friends, and he can't even get a few words out without stuttering like crazy, right? He's obviously nervous, or maybe he just has a speech impediment. Either way.
Let's just say that sounds like someone who's trying to, filter his words. Right? I mean, if you have to put an excessive amount of word filters, let's just say those people are not your friends. It will be wise not to waste your time with them. Alright? They'll shame you if you speak your mind, and if they get offended by what you say, and they'll ignore what you have to say, or worse, when shit hits the fan, it will somehow become your problem. Right? Henceforth, don't waste your time with people you don't and can't connect with. If you're gonna walk on eggshells, walk on an actual eggshell, not figuratively with these kinds of people.
Hey, him pressing a woman will probably be issues, right? So I can get why he's doing that, but he's also saying that he doesn't want to choose. Let's get a little bit further into that.
Because we don't know who like us, and I don't want to be like, if I talk to you.
No, what was your question? Why?
Because
What?
she said, why do people not talk to them?
And that's what I asked earlier. Is like, okay, is there? Because you said you are laughing, you're giggling, you're having a good time.
We're giving off.
You know?
We're giving off the feminine
'Cause y'all are
energy,
cool.
and
Y'all are cool.
they are actually not assholes. They're not.
But
stuck
but
up
I think
bitches.
So they talk to you, they just don't proceed.
No, they don't even come up. It's
Hold on, they
fear
don't come up?
No, like they'll stare
hold on, that ain't the type
stare a
question
hole
it
through
is.
you all night. They will not approach you, not
Right.
once, but they'll stare.
You know what? You know what I really don't like?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, bro is not oozing confidence, right? He's definitely not he doesn't have it. So what I would say is that you build muscle memory over time. You can't really care about rejection. If this is what you want to do, if you do appreciate a female and you want to talk to her. If she rejects you, what do you really lose? Nothing. If you don't do it, then guess what? You might have lost a great opportunity. That's the problem. So you probably should just press if you feel the need to. And I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is that they think they have to come up with these pickup lines. I know the young boys who are bringing Cold Approach back, shout to y'all, they're bringing these pretty weird pickup lines. I mean, there was an era where people did that and you could have success with the pickup line. So I get it. It just looks crazy when somebody does it in live with some meta glasses. So you don't have to really do that. It would be just like you talking to someone of the same sex. So let's just say you were talking to, like, you had something that you wanted to ask bro about, right? And it's obviously not anything sexual. It's just like, okay, you would just start a conversation like, yo, what's up? Where'd you get them J's from? Or, whatever the case is, or damn, like, it's corny in here. Anything that you would say to a dude, you could kind of say to a woman, right? And if you don't feel the vibe, because the women will kind of give you a little bit, she'll lean into you, she'll turn towards you, she'll make a lot of eye contact, she may smile. When you're able to pick up on these social cues, then you'll realize, okay, cool. But if you're kind of scared, you can kind of do a soft play pause when you just go in and say, look, just start a conversation. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to throw a pickup line. You don't have to even let your intentions be known the first few seconds. Before you leave the conversation, she should absolutely know what your intentions are. But that doesn't mean that you have to immediately burst out with that. You can just start out with a casual convo, right? And if you have a casual conversation and it starts to go well, then you can kind of develop that into something else based on how she's receiving you. Let's keep it going.
You don't.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm gonna tell you?
I don't know.
No, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you no. I'm gonna tell you real talk. And this is as a DJ. As a DJ, there's a lot.
And this is my cousin.
There's a lot of music out there that is projecting on a lot of men that women like money all the time. And so if they see you look expensive, they may not fuck with you.
Bro,
I get it.
Timu and Sheen
Look
out there,
expensive.
bro.
We look like we're not single.
No,
We
you
look.
Y'all don't look single.
Yeah, I get it.
Like I said, I thought you was
like
with
a
them, and I
nigga should
thought
have
y'all,
his shit
I
together.
thought y'all had
Exactly.
guys. I
You
thought
look
y'all
like
had guys.
you look like someone had
But I
their
still
shit
said
together.
something.
So upon further assessment, it looks like I may have been wrong about that. They are not friends. I think she just may have randomly ask, bro. So just how she did that, see how it's a casual conversation or not engaging in a way where it's flirtatious or anything like that, because she probably don't like dudes. She wanted specific dudes to push up on her, and that's what she didn't mention, because if it was really like that, she could have asked him for his number, right? Or gave him some type of signal. She's not giving him any type of choosing signal. She's just talking to him like, that's bro. So that type of thing you have to understand as well. She wants a specific type of dude to press her. A lot of times dudes will approach you and you'll just flame them. You got your picks, and we understand that, but some dudes is just not trying to be bothered. Men have more self-awareness than women do. So now dudes are being more efficient with their energy that they put out. They're not just pushing up on every random woman. So if you're not really outgoing, if you're not really giving out choosing signals, then he just might not press you at all. And I mean, I say they look like they threw it on, right? They might be about mid if you strip down all the the accessories, the hair, the makeup, those clothes, because they put themselves together really well. But for me, when I assess a woman, I pretty much look at how she would wake up next to me. I look at how she would wake up next to me.
And let's just say, if a woman is wearing excessively expensive clothes, I'm walking the other way, right? Because with her by my side, she's either accelerating my downfall, or my bank account is gonna go broke regardless, right? So if she dresses in a cheaper, more reasonable clothes, then I might ask her out on a date. Then again, I don't really have the time or the money to go on a date with a woman. I have plenty of money and time for many other things that are more fun. Now it's hard for anyone to convince me to go on a date with a woman specifically. It's much easier to convince me to go and hang out with a group of friends as compared to going on a date with a woman, right? And I don't go out with my friends that often, because once I go out with my friends, we often just do some dumb shit, and then that's enough. That's way too much fun for the entire month or the entire quarter of the year, depending on how much fun we had that day. So yeah.
If that is going to look so, then I'm like, you know what I mean? And I think they would be all right when they make a butt. Are they like, Miss Universe? Yeah, I guess that's a bit subjective. Either way, dudes are going to be more frugal with their energy, and I don't blame them, because what are we pressing you for? What is it that you have to offer? And a lot of women don't even think that sometimes. They never think about that. What is it that I offer? What is it that I can bring to this man's life to make his life better or easier? I would say most women actually think that their presence is enough alone.
Like, if you just want to talk about their presence, I mean, it took a whole group of friends, I have 5 friends, to make their presence valuable or worthwhile to me, right? I don't think a single woman can emulate what my group of friends can do, right? Because if there's five of my friends, they can bounce off energy of each other, and then they can often just escalate things into some pretty dumb areas of life, and they're pretty funny to be around. And I don't think like a single woman can actually create that kind of dynamic, right? Because she's just one person, unlike my friends, which is 5 people. So it's actually very hard to compete, and it's also very unfair to judge a woman by ability to compete with your 5 friends. Now, unless she plans to bring something completely unique to my group of friends, then there's simply no reason to waste anyone's time going on a date. That's just my take on it.
Of women, even some of these women who are supposed to be so-called male advocates. I saw a lady the other day doing that, and I couldn't believe it. I had to say something about it, that it was terrible, and it made me feel like she was a grifter at that point, because it's like, why are you telling men that her existence is enough and she's going to build you? Men don't need women to build them. That's not something that we're looking for. So no, there's a lot more to it.
Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? Say shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women. The masculinity on earth has diminished drastically, that guys don't even come up to you anymore. They'll just stare at you from a distance. As a woman who's trying to embody her feminine energy, you're not going to catch me going up to the guy. You're just not. We can just stare at each other. Say shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women, because guys don't do that anymore.
Why don't women do it?
Actually, she's incredibly lucky. Alright, I'm gonna interject here. Because those guys with the confidence, they can easily pursue other things besides approaching women for romantic relationships. She's incredibly lucky that she encountered a guy that found her worthwhile to try pursuing for a potential romantic relationship. Now, given the incredible risk involved in modern dating and the potential reward, it's incredible that there are some guys out there who still found the pursuit of romantic love worthwhile, right? It's just wild to me at this point, given the alternatives out there.
Y'all told men not to do it because what? They're creeps and they just want to be left alone. Stop it with the catcalling, Me Too, everything else. Why is it that women don't do it? Why don't you do it? You know why? Because you don't have what it takes. You want to say guys are confident and all of this. You're not confident. Why don't you press? Why don't you say something? Why don't you spark a conversation? You're the ones complaining. You want the interaction apparently more than men. So why don't you try it? You're just saying, I'm just not going to do it. Well, then keep failing. Who cares? Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Be by yourself. But one thing that I hate is when people complain about things that they have the ability to fix and just complain about it without doing anything about it. How about you be more inviting, right? At least give out some serious truths and signal. Why can't you at least signal to the dude? You don't have to do nothing crazy. He could initiate the conversation. But at least if you gave him a strong signal, because guys are not really doing it like that. Unfortunately, men have kind of stopped pressing women like that for.
And the reason for that, if from my observation, the risk is way too high and the benefits have essentially left the room, right? Playing the lottery is high risk, high reward. Dating is increasingly like handling nuclear weapons for benefits best described as punishments in a way. So it's like, if there's so many alternatives out there, why even go on a date?
A while, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in the video, but men have stopped pressing women because they don't really care to anymore. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, like I said, and once you stop doing it, you lose that muscle memory. If you hit in the gym on a regular basis, you getting tight, cool. After a while, you stop. It's very difficult to get back into it. Anything that you don't do, if you're speaking another language and then you stop using it, you're gonna forget it. Guys haven't been pressing women. So like after a while, that's just what it is. And we can't forget that it's a lot easier for men to just do it on the dating apps. If a woman doesn't like you there, then it is what it is. Okay, you just won't hear from them. And that's it. You never even have to be accountable for it. You don't have to be embarrassed. You can just eat it and whatever. You just keep going to the next one, going to the next one from the comfort of your own home, in your pajamas, drinking a beer or whatever it is that you do, watching TV, whatever it is you want to do. You can just sit down any night after work or at work and shoot your shot over and over and over and over to dating apps. And you don't have to do anything. And whoever actually likes you will come to you or say something to you. So then you have a better idea of how the energy is. To me, it's about efficiency. And I understand why the dating apps are taking over, because it's just easier for the average man. It makes more sense if we're talking about a business sense. Any other business that you can just do online without having to make contact, without having to have boots on the ground, there's a lot that you have to do. You got to get dressed. You got to get a shape up. You got to make sure you have a fresh outfit. You got to make sure you smell good. You got to do a whole bunch of stuff. But on the apps, you could just get some AI pictures and let it fly. Let AI write the responses. Let it fly. Or you could just give low level responses, right? Low effort responses. And it's just as easy, right? And women really don't have the ability to engage. If you ever talk to women and see what their pickup lines are like, terrible. Absolutely terrible. They suck. When I say they suck, I'm talking about they suck. They suck. They suck. So,
I mean, women being bad at pickup lines is one thing. They manage to make men not want to date anymore. Alright, 75% of women between 18 and 25 still expect men to make the first move, while 45% of men in the same age range have not even asked a woman out in the past 1 year or something like that. They are literally convincing men to spend their time and money elsewhere besides dating. And it shows.
it's just like one of them things where even if you're talking about like within the dating apps, what they do, they'll sit there and say something like, hey, handsome. That's about it. They never have anything dope. They always say they're tired. Don't come to me with the same line. Don't say hi. How are you? How's your day going? All of these things, all of these normal human conversational starters. Don't use any of those. Come up with some crazy response that we need you to come up with just so we won't even look up your message. Stop it. We're not doing that. Unless you're giving out energy, yeah, nobody needs to be putting that much effort into the conversation because you may not even respond. And you never do it. So be quiet.
I really should be studying for my doctoral degree and not talking about this dumbass stuff, but
Here we go. See? Here we go. Here we go. Look how she starts that out. I really should be studying for my doctoral degree. We don't care.
Then why are you not doing that? I mean, that sounds like more worth your time. Studying for your doctoral degree. I don't know how are these people thinking that, making a TikTok is more worth their time than actually studying. That is beyond me at this point.
We really don't. We don't care. We don't care about your doctoral degree. We don't care.
just have to tell you guys what this man said to me. So I was talking to this man. Oh, Duke, are you okay? Sorry. There's Duke. Oh, Coco. Anyways.
Dog mom. And just so you know, women are absolutely embracing this. They are calling themselves dog moms right now. I would say it's probably in about 5% of dating profiles where you'll see proud dog mom. Like, this is a real thing right now. I mean, well, at least the dogs listen to them.
I was talking to this man about how, in general, like, the men are not approaching women outside anymore. And I think we can kind of all come to a consensus on that. Like, that just isn't happening. I'm 28. I've been in and out of the club scene since I was 18. Well, really like 21, 22, whatever. And things have changed. Things are not the same. And I always equated it to COVID, right? I was like, okay, well, COVID.
She kind of makes a good point with that. With the vid, right? I call it the vid. I'm still in 2021 mode. So what happens is with that, we lost a great amount of social skills. Remember, what was the term? Social distancing. So
when governments decide to limit human interaction during COVID, for example, people just adapted, right? Nowadays, we have laptops that, NASA would have dreamed of when they shot rockets at the moon. Now imagine how viable it is to have your own world through your laptop. Hey, have you seen how powerful modern computers are in the first place? And best of all, to access all that wonderful things from your laptop, all you need to do is just start it up, which takes less than 30 seconds in my case, and then, you just need to double click on the software you wish to run. So for example, Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm throwing that out there. And then wait for at most, 5 to 10 minutes, and now you're in a whole different world. Alright? Now compare that to dating. You have to spend hours dressing up, traveling to the location for the date, and then coordinate with this other person. Then if you're a man, pay for the date. Right? And all that for a maybe second date. Now you see why dating doesn't sound that appealing to the average man at this point.
literally have to stay away from people. You can't engage, you can't get close. And after a while, you're not interacting with people. That's when a lot of the food deliveries and everything got really big. People started delivering their groceries heavy about that time and found a bunch of ways to have contact less interactions. Believe me, that is going to have an effect on you. And that was about I guess 5 years ago. It started it was in 2019. So that's like pretty much 7 years ago. So when you think about that, you're talking about 7 years ago, really got into it about 6 years ago. A lot of those people were like in high school, right? That are in a dating age right now. So this was a very impressionable time in their life. So yes, it's going to be strange. This is kind of how they grew up. And now they're in a dating pool. And look at them. They still adapted to that social distancing. And the internet and every company that could possibly try to still make money found convenient ways to be able to interact without money. There was a serious social boom. YouTube blew up crazy. If you came up in that period of time, then you were probably rich right now. Instagram went crazy. TikTok went crazy. And all the social media and people started to just gravitate to that because it was a way to still communicate. But it's very different, right? There's no eye contact. There's no two-way communication per se. You can't smell the person. You can't hear the person. You can't really see their swag. You can't really see their height. So it's so many things that just change the dynamic with that. And there's so much that you don't have to do. And there's so much perpetration you can have now. They have all the filters right now. You can cover up yourself. And then if you're a bigger person, you can take a picture super zoomed in where it just shows your face and your neck. And then you hold your angle up like this so the rolls don't show. So you just get to be fraudulent on the internet. You can be someone who you're completely not. You could be a tough guy on the internet, right? And you could talk crazy to everybody because you can't hold anyone accountable because they'll never run into you. So there's so many advantages for people doing things on the internet that they've pretty much built their personalities around it. And now they don't know how to act in real life or don't care to at all because it's a lot easier and convenient for the average person.
Just took away like the confidence, that ability to socialize and strike up a conversation with a stranger or dancing with someone that you don't know at the club, which also I think is related to like phones and wanting to be cool and not wanting to be exposed, whatever. These are the reasons why I think men are no longer approaching women in the clubs. I'm talking with this man, I'm saying this, you know what he tells me? And now I'm like, is this true? He was like, oh no, like the reason why men don't go up to girls anymore is because of the Me Too movement. The Me Too, the sexual assault? I said, were men sexually assaulting women in the club like all the time? Is that how you approach women? By sexually assaulting them? What are we talking about? The Me Too movement? Yeah, now we're scared to talk to them because da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, just don't be a creep. Don't.
Here's the problem with that. Match, OkCupid, Match owns, every app outside of Facebook and Bumble. So they own OkCupid. They own Hinge and Tinder and pretty much damn near every app that you can get that's a major app. And they released data, and it showed that 80-20 rule, that 80% of women are only attracted to 20% of men. So when you think of that, then yes, these women have their picks. They're really not going to be receptive to most guys. They are not mentioning this. They will not mention this. They are extremely angry that the dudes who have most of the access, the top 5, top 10%, and you could get yours off if you're in the top 20%. It's a little more work you got to do. But the guys in the top 5, top 10% who they really checking for, they don't have to because the women will actually press those. The women will get in your way.
And what exactly are those guys experiencing? Like, does this sound appealing for you to try to make an approach to a woman anytime soon?
You have to understand how people are feeling. They don't really care about the male perspective. That's what I've learned. They could care less about the male perspective. They only thinking about it from their point of view, and they want.
Now, if these women don't care about the male perspective, then why should men even engage? Right? Your work ignores your desires, but they pay you. Right? You may not be paid enough, but sure, but they still pay you. Right? Here in the dating game, you are paying to have your desires ignored. Why? Do you just have a humiliation fetish or something like that? Or are you so short of purpose in your life that you are wasting time like this? Like, what is it? Right? Why are you paying to get ignored when you can get paid to get ignored?
Men to do all the heavy lifting. They want men to be entertaining. They want men to be funny. They want men to be wealthy. They want men to be strong. They want men to be emotionally intelligent. They want men to be everything, but they are not emotionally intelligent, right? They expect you to respect their hormones and being cranky and making decisions based on emotion, which would be the complete opposite of emotional intelligence. They expect you to cover every bill. So that's another thing that you have to do. You have to carry the relationship. You have to be strong. You have to be chivalrous while treating them as an equal. Make it make sense.
Be a creep. What? and that he was being very genuine, and like I genuinely think that other men genuinely feel this way now. Like, it's so annoying to be straight. Like, oh my god, it's so annoying.
I mean, forget about the Me Too movement, where only the feelings of one person in the interaction matters more than the other person. In this case, the feelings of the women matter more than the man's intentions. Now, what exactly is, besides that, shenanigans, what exactly is waiting on the other side for the man when he succeeds in this dating game? If the risk is that high and the reward is, I don't know, that garbage, why should the man even continue playing this game? Right? My take is that if the risk is high, the reward better be good. Or else, I'm out. I'm not wasting time anymore.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and join the other side, for real. Have at it. Go ahead. It's annoying to be straight, so then you go ahead and try your luck on the other side and come back and report to us. See how you like it on the other side, because there's been a lot of women who went to other women and came back running, crying, because they couldn't deal with the other woman, and they called the other women narcissists, and they're so selfish and they don't understand anything, and they're violent and have an attitude and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's what we've been telling you. Yeah. So that's what it is. So I'm going to say, gentlemen, do what you want to do what works best for your lifestyle. If you want to press, go ahead and do it, but you're going to have to get out there and not care about the results. If you don't and you find it more convenient, then go ahead and do that. And most importantly, the one thing that we really didn't touch on is that men are actually checking out. For real. A lot of men just don't even see it being worth it. Some men will do things transactionally or just go monk mode and forget all about it. Whatever your choice is, go ahead and let's argue about it in the comments. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and share this to someone else who you may also think finds value out of it. We appreciate you for coming here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, and we love you for it. And as always, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.
Alright, that's the end of the video. Serious question. In 2026, with the dating game, with the risk profile this high and the benefits this low, what actual value does dating bring to a man's life? And with NASA level entertainment devices like our phones in our pockets and our solid friend groups at our backs, why are some guys still playing a game where you pay to have your desires ignored? Right? Let me know in the comments if you have checked out, or if there's a reward I'm missing out with this dating shenanigans. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.